I am a peer recovery support specialist and public health specialist for Southern Plains Tribal Health Board on the 988 grant in the Tribal Opioid Response Program. My Cheyenne name is Ma'e. It's Red Leaf Woman. I got that from my grandmother. From the very beginning, I had no control of it, over my addiction, over my alcoholism. I started drinking at a very early age. I would say I was 6 the first time the first time I had a drink. By the time I was 11, I was smoking weed, 15, 16 years old. I had done coke and had already been using meth regularly. In 2015, I had been in a previous relationship, marriage that didn't work out. It was grounded both in using and drinking. And I thought the only way out of that situation was I was gonna take my own life. But my brother just happened to come over that day, and I asked him to take me to a URC, which is an urgent recovery center. And he did that. I would like to say that's where it ended, but that's where it started. Before long, I forgot what it was to be a mother. I forgot what it was to be a daughter. I forgot what it was to be a friend. I had no ethics, no moral values, none of that. It all went out the window. You know, my addiction, my alcoholism really had control of my life. I had lost my children. I had a home, but I was choosing to live in motels. I was choosing to live out of my car. I was choosing to live in all these places except for my home. Eventually, it led to prison. And so in October of 2018, I had just enough. I had enough of living that lifestyle. I was tired. I couldn't even look at myself in the mirror, and I hadn't been able to for years. And I just wanted to know what it was like to accept love, to feel love, and to give love in a healthy way. And I found myself praying and asking and crying out, like, if you're real, you have to save me from myself. And he did. 3 days later, that prayer was answered, and that was on October 8th. I had the opportunity to go on drug court. I was gonna be doing 17 years. And so I went ahead and took a plea sentence, went to prison. That's where I really began to find true freedom. I realized that freedom isn't about being locked up in a jail cell. It's not about being locked up behind bars. It's about having freedom in your mind. And so when I was able to understand that, I began to do a lot of inner work on myself. I began to journal. I began to pray. I began to go to church. I began to put myself and involve myself in healthy lifestyles, healthy groups. Because when you go to prison, everything is there. When you're just lost, you don't know what you stand for. And so you give your loyalty to things that are fleeting, things that don't last, relationships, you know, not having boundaries, codependency, depression, anger, anxiety. There's so many things that are encompassed in cycles that until you do the work to heal and realize that I'm not the victim anymore. I was never the victim. Maybe when I was younger, but when I came to the realization that I had a part to play in this and took accountability for the things that I done wrong, was I able to come out of those cycles. For me, it started with the Bible. It started with accepting Jesus into my heart, accepting God as my higher power, and then he began to gift me the things of our background, our heritage, our tradition. You know, I had a sense of freedom, but I didn't start feeling wholeness until I put those two together. That's what I really love about Wild Variety, because it introduced me back into who I am as a Native woman, because I can't be who he's called me to be. I can't walk in his wills and the purposes that he's destined for me to be until I accept who I am in both realms. Bringing my culture into my Christianity part, or my Christianity culture into my Native American culture, it's just been a beautiful thing for my life. Get to participate in ceremonies, sweat lodges, talking circles, and just being able to be that beacon of hope We have a responsibility now of knowing what we know to do everything that we can do to heal ourselves. That's what I always say. Anytime I give myself the chance to heal, I give my children permission to heal. The ones who came before us prayed for us to be where we're at right now. I really love to be around the drum. It just does something for my mind, body, spirit, soul, all of it. It's all interconnected. It's all a part of who we are.
Closing thoughts for somebody that might be watching this interview that might be thinking about starting their journey. What do you have to say for them?
You know, you're never too far away. You're not alone. You're loved, and you are extremely capable of living the life that you thought was only a dream. All you got to do is take the step. All you got to do is ask for help. And all you got to do is pray. Because regardless of what you think is being hurt or not, God catches every single tear. He catches every single pain. He catches every single hurt, every single joy, every single piece of happiness, all of it. He catches it and he holds it for you. And so you're stronger than you think you are. You're so much stronger than you think you are, and you're so loved.